I hope that you were able to take away some key points on learning about the industry and pharmacy and what you can do immediately to save money for you and your family. So let's summarize the top 5 ways, again, that you can save on medications. The first way is to go generic. A lot of people don't understand what a generic medication is. Generic medications, to be on the market, have to be FDA approved. They have to be the same drug. There's no difference in drugs. And they have to be the same strength. They have to also show that they dissolve in the body and they're the bloodstream, that the amount of medication that goes into the bloodstream is the same as the brand name. The differences can be unbelievable. I strongly encourage that you ask your pharmacist to always fill all of your prescriptions in generic. One other key point here. If one of your medications is not available in a generic, what you can do as a pharmacist, what a pharmacist can do, is consult your doctor, and guess what? They can call your doctor and get a therapeutic alternative. It doesn't happen with every drug, but the majority of drugs out there, you can go from a drug that does not have a brand to a drug that has a generic and literally can save you hundreds, if not thousands of dollars. Just last week, we contacted a physician for a patient, and we did that very same thing. Her drug costs went from $6,600 per year down to $35 per month. Now think about that. We literally saved her $6,000 a year by just making that one simple call. Now when a pharmacist graduates from pharmacy school, they raise their right hand and they make that oath of a pharmacist to say that their number one responsibility is to take care of you, the patient. So please use that. The pharmacist is a great resource. They will contact the doctor for you. A pharmacist can evaluate what drugs you're on and can really help save you money. The second key point, shop around. I cannot stress this enough. If you look at the different drugstores, you have a drugstore literally at every corner today. So let me give you a story. When I was a supervisor for a company, a chain drug company, we were charging $227 for 30 tablets of a cancer medication that's used for nausea and vomiting in cancer patients. It's sometimes used for nausea and vomiting in pregnant women, called Zofran. $227 for 30 tablets. Would you believe that same drug, same manufacturer, same strength, for 30 tablets elsewhere costs $11? So what does that tell you? That's key point number 2. The first point is try to get on as many generics as possible. Key point number 2 is shop around. Not all drugstores charge the same. Some of the bigger box drugstores will charge less, but that's a true story. Same drug, $227 at one drugstore, and it is $11 elsewhere. Now, a lot of times your insurance, if you have Blue Cross or whatever it is, if you pay $5, you're going to pay $5 everywhere. But again, to get on that therapy, if you go to a generic drug, your copay might go from $40 down to $5. So that's the second key point. Build that relationship with your pharmacist and your doctor is key point number 3. Just because a doctor gives a prescription doesn't mean that you have to fill that prescription for what it is. There are so many alternatives out there. I highly encourage that you work with your physician, you work with your pharmacist. The pharmacist really, in essence, is the bridge between the physician and you. So use that resource. Ask the right questions. And if you're paying a lot of money, trust me, there is help out there. The majority of drugs, I'll be honest with you, if you're paying more than $5 to $10 a month for maintenance blood pressure medications, for diabetes medications for the most part, and so forth, most disease states, then you're paying too much. Now, of course, there's expensive medications out there that doesn't always work for, but for the majority of medications taken orally, there's always an alternative. Now, the insulins and certain injections, that's a different story, but again, there's options out there for you. Tip number 4, if an injection or an expensive medication is what you must be on, then try to work with the manufacturer. Have the pharmacist reach out to the manufacturer to see if there are patient assistance programs out there, to see if there's coupons available out there, and so forth. Just because a medication is expensive doesn't mean that there's not help. There's always coupons. Manufacturers are offering different rebates for you to be on those medications. But again, it goes back to that relationship with your pharmacist as well. So again, key point number 1 was go to generic. Key point number 2 is shop around. Not all drug prices are the same. Where you go from one store to another, they can vary greatly, especially with the chains. Now the chains, a lot of them charge very similar prices, such as the Walgreens, the CVS's, and the Rite Aids, and so forth. Now some of the other big box retailers, such as Costco, Sam's Club, Walmart, their prices in Kroger can be different as well. So be aware of that. Tip number 4 was building that relationship, or tip number 3 was building the relationship with your pharmacist. Tip number 4 was using the manufacturer to get rebates and so forth. And then tip number 5 is to try to invest in a pre-tax system, healthcare system with your employer that have healthcare spending accounts and so forth. These healthcare spending accounts are all pre-tax dollars, meaning this is that a lot of these accounts, they take out money out of your paycheck that's pre-tax, and you can use the full amount of that to apply toward deductibles and so forth. So in essence, it is about a 20 to 30% savings. Now, be cautious, because some of the plans out there, if you don't use the money at the end of the year, you lose it. But a lot of these plans are changing now where you don't lose your money at the end of the year. So it's hard to estimate sometimes on how much healthcare you're going to use. But again, that's another tip. So again, those top 5 points that I would recommend to you, especially those top 2, go generic and shop around at different drugstores for the same medications, because the prices can vary greatly, can definitely save you a lot of money. So again, thank you so much for coming tonight. I hope you